Welcome again, everyone, and we're just going to have Mrs. Naliva read the safety message.
Good evening and welcome to the March 30th, 2026 meeting of the Patchogue-Medford Board of Education. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please use the exits located at the front and rear of the auditorium to exit the building. Please be advised that smoking and the use of vape products are strictly prohibited on school grounds. This evening, there will be one public comment portion to the Board of Education meeting. This public comment portion of the meeting will be open for any topic you would like to bring to the board. Each speaker will have 3 minutes with no sharing of minutes. Please state your name and address when you approach the podium. You will be warned when you have 30 seconds remaining and asked to conclude after 3 minutes. Please refrain from discussing specific students or staff members. To protect their privacy, these matters should be discussed with the appropriate administrator. Please direct all questions or comments to the Board of Education President.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to presentations and reports. The first presentation we have is Coach Steve Cole, who will present the record breakers for Colin Jennings, Jeremiah Newsom, and Evan Frazier.
All right. Good evening, everybody. First, today we're here to celebrate not just a successful winter track season, but the incredible achievements of 3 athletes who pushed beyond limits and rewrote our record books. First, let's recognize Colin Jennings. Colin had an outstanding season, setting not just 1, but 2 school records. Colin broke the record in the 800 meters with an impressive time of 2:04 and continued his dominance in the 1,000 meters, setting another record at 2:37.31. These performances reflect not only his speed, but also his endurance, discipline, and competitive drive. To excel in 2 demanding middle distance events like this is truly remarkable. Next, we honor Jeremiah Newsom, who dominated in the throwing events this season. Jeremiah hit a new school record in the shot put with a massive throw of 51 feet, 10 3/4 inches, and followed that with another record-breaking performance in the weight throw at 52 feet, 9.5 inches. His strength, technique, and consistency have truly set him apart, and his accomplishments have raised the bar for our entire program. And finally, Evan Frazier, who delivered a truly historic sprint season. Evan set school records in not 1, not 2, but 3 events. The 200 meters with a blazing 21:84, the 300 meters in 34:44, and the 400 meters in 50.14. As if that weren't enough, he also set both the meet and facility records at Suffolk Community College during the state qualifier meet. That level of performance on such a big stage speaks volumes about his talent, focus, and ability to rise to the moment. It is also what earned Evan the Outstanding Track and Field Athlete Award, voted on by all Section 11 coaches and given out at the All-County Dinner. These 3 athletes have shown us what dedication, resilience, and excellence looks like. Their records are more than just numbers. They represent the commitment, sacrifice, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. Let's give Colin, Jeremiah, and Evan the recognition they deserve for an unforgettable season and for setting a standard that will inspire us for years to come. Good job.
Okay, next we're going to bring up Coach Anello to recognize Ashton and Olivia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Anello. I'm the head coach of the wrestling program at Patchogue-Medford. We had a great season this year, but it's definitely highlighted by the success of these two athletes here. Ashton Klugowitz, whose season started off with, on the second day of practice, an avulsion fracture in his hip, and we didn't think we'd get him back. But he stuck around. He did everything he needed to do. And mid-January, we got him back on the mat practicing, and we had to get him a medical waiver to be able to compete in the postseason because he didn't have enough competitions. And he was returning to our lineup as already a two-time All-League wrestler. In 10th grade, he took 4th in the league. And in his junior year, he was a league finalist. This year, he avenged his loss to the same guy that he lost in the finals to last year. And he qualified for the Suffolk County tournament. He was seeded 12th, really because he didn't have a lot of wins in competition the whole year. And from the 12th seed, he really dominated the tournament. He only lost in the semifinals to the eventual Suffolk County champion, and he wrestled to take 3rd in the county. And the top 3 at each weight qualify for the New York State Wrestling Tournament in Albany. So he's one of 36 qualifiers in Division I across all of Suffolk County. When he got up to Albany, he went 2-2. He made it to what's called the blood round, which is the furthest you can get into the tournament without actually placing. His last match, he gave it everything he had, but he really represented us well. And he had a tremendous season in the time that he was able to be on the mat for us, and we're super proud of his accomplishments. All right, our other athlete is Olivia Anello. Our girls from Pat Med, they train a lot with us, but they wrestle for Bellport on a joint team. A couple of the local districts join up there. The program is growing. Girls wrestling is the fastest growing sport in the nation. Right now, there's 8 teams across Suffolk County. Olivia's on the Bellport team with 2 other schools besides Bellport and Pat Med. She is a returning Suffolk County champ. She placed 4th in the state last year. She came back this year with aspirations to win the state. She, again, won the county. She went up to Albany. She lost a very tough semifinal match, wrestled all the way back, took 3rd place. Today, she was just at Newsday. She made the All Long Island team with 9 other girls from Long Island. So that should be coming out in the paper next Sunday. But she's already, as a sophomore, 2-time Suffolk County champion and a 2-time All-State wrestler. And she's still got 2 years left. So we're proud and super excited to see what she could do in the future.
announce, James? Okay, we had one additional student athlete that we wanted to recognize tonight who couldn't be with us. So Jamison Remian, who was competing in the 100-meter breaststroke as only a freshman, earned all county honors, qualified for the state championships, placing himself amongst the very best swimmers in the state. What makes Jamison's achievement even more remarkable is that he did it as an individual entry without the support of a full swim team behind him. There are no daily team practices, no built-in training environment, no large group pushing him at every turn, just his own drive, discipline, and commitment to excellence. And still he rose to the highest level. At the state championships, Jamison didn't just show up, he excelled, finishing as a top 6 swimmer in New York State in the 100-meter breaststroke. To reach that level is outstanding. To do it as a freshman and as an individual competitor is truly exceptional. Congratulations on an outstanding season, Jamison.
Congratulations to all the athletes. Next, we're going to move on to the Employees of the Month. So, Dr. Cohen.
Thank you, Madam President. So it's my honor and privilege to present tonight's Employees of the Month. And I must say first that these employees have been waiting for quite some time to be recognized. They were supposed to be recognized at the February meeting in the middle of the winter, but we had to shift to remote that night because of the snowstorm that we had. So they've been waiting for a couple of months. We've actually moved from winter to spring. So these Employees of the Month were supposed to receive token Patchogue-Medford throw blankets as their gift, but now that we're in spring, we have a beautiful new picnic blanket for spring season. So they'll be receiving this evening. So I'd like to start off by recognizing Allie Mirabel, Senior Office Assistant in the Office of Music, Art, and Cultural Arts. Allie, come on up. Allie's got her whole family here, which is so nice to see. Beautiful. Allie, you received 16 nominations for your tremendous efforts to accommodate all the requests through the Music and Art Department. You demonstrate outstanding customer service and do so with flexibility and efficiency to ensure all needs of the department are met and all tasks are complete. You have an exceptional skill set, and your positive demeanor and can-do attitude elevate the culture of the department. In one instance, it was noted that you actually drove a marching band sweatshirt to a student's house to ensure they had the correct size to layer their clothing appropriately due to the weather. That is certainly going above and beyond. We are delighted to celebrate your contributions. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. So just sit tight up here, Allie. Don't go too far. Don't go too far, Allie. There you go. Allie, I see, wants to be behind the scenes. Next up is Nico Siracusano, business teacher at the high school. Nico, come on up. Nico, you received this nomination for your generosity in helping to secure donations for a colleague in need of support. You assisted in designing T-shirts to be worn by the staff. You absorbed the costs while donating your time and energy in support of this initiative, giving all the proceeds to your colleague. We use the phrase Patchogue-Medford family frequently, and your efforts emphasize the importance of this expression. This is a testament to who we are as a staff and how we work together to take care of our family. Thank you, and way to make a difference. Congratulations, Nico. Please just wait up front, Nico. And also this evening, we have Angel Rudd, security guard at Medford. Angel, come on up. During this bitter cold winter, Angel noted that during recess, she observed some students without coats. And after checking with their teachers to see if they had jackets available, you decided to take it upon yourself to purchase some jackets for our students, which is certainly going above and beyond. At the time this nomination came in, it was noted that you had already purchased 4 jackets for students, and rumor had it you were still purchasing some more. So we truly appreciate your care, your generosity. Way to be an upstander, and congratulations, Angel. How many coats have you purchased? 12. 12. Thank you. I invite up Mrs. Canetti and the board to take a picture with our Employees of the Month.
I just want to also acknowledge Angel. I love your name because you are an angel. So thank you for impacting our students at Medford. Greatly appreciated. Nico, I will say Nico, on the other hand, little story, but when we had our pep rally this winter season, Nico pushed me off the chair, trustees, to win musical chairs. Not that I don't remember that, but even with that, we've acknowledged him for Employee of the Month. And I know. And see, what can I tell you, Nico? And Allie, I will tell you, it hasn't gone unnoticed, the wonderful musical brochures and the updates you made this season. I know many of our trustees have commented on your initiative in bringing both the Spanish and English edition and merging them into one. So thank you for that. It was very well received by the community. Congratulations to all of our employees.
Once again, everyone, congratulations for all your hard work and dedication to our district. Next, we're going to move on to our ex officio student member report. Ms. Charlotte Leake.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight, I'd like to talk about the importance of building stronger connections between students, especially across different age groups, and how that can play a powerful role in addressing real issues like youth vaping. Catch My Breath is a youth vaping prevention program. It uses a peer-led approach, meaning students teach and influence each other. This is important because students are more likely to listen to people that they can actually relate to. Recently, Patchogue-Medford high school students had the opportunity to train with Catch My Breath. They got to learn what it is like to be a mentor and how they can use their voice to inform other students on the harmful effects of e-cigarettes and vape usage, such as detriments to mental and physical health. In time, these students who trained will get the chance to visit middle schools and elementary schools to share what they have learned. This program will allow students the skills to make informed decisions about e-cigarettes and resist peer pressure. Overall, the goal is to stop the problem before it begins. By educating students on this matter, together we can make healthier choices. Also, tomorrow night, there will be a vaping and youth workshop held for parents to attend at 6 p.m. with any questions or concerns that they may have. On a different note, junior prom is coming up on April 24th, which will be a great night, and then information just went out about senior prom as well, with more to come on that. So, thank you.
All right, next we're going to move on to the consent agenda. So can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay, consent agenda passed. There were no items removed from the consent agenda for a separate vote, and there were no actions arising out of exec session. The policies that are up for will be circulated for first reading. If there are no changes, the policies will be included on the May 18th, 2026 Board of Education agenda, which are 5147.1, 51 in the child abuse and educational setting, 6164 programs for English language learners, 6164 programs for English language learner regulations, 6165 admissions of non-English language learners, and 9111 ex officio student member of the board. Then we're going to move on to superintendent and assistant superintendent reports.
All right, good evening, everyone. I first want to again congratulate all of our employees of the month and also all of our athletes. So, Charlie, thank you for updating the community and the board on Catch My Breath. So that is a great opportunity for our high school students. I will be also visiting with them in 2 weeks. They're going to do a little demo presentation before they make their way to the middle school. So thank you to all of our students and for Mrs. Walsh and Mrs. Rosario for really taking on this initiative and working with our students. So I also would like to acknowledge all of our staff and students that were part of our middle school musicals. I know myself and many of our trustees had the opportunity this weekend to watch both performances. Outstanding. I would say this season, the musicals just amazed me, and the talents on and off the stage are incredible. So hats off to all of our performers. They were very successful. I do want to also acknowledge we are working on America 250th birthday celebration. So we've been in communication with our Lions Club as well as many of our staff members, and we are excited to kick off many activities to celebrate the 250th birthday of America. We're going to be doing some poster contests in April and May at our elementary and middle school levels. I know Mr. Brinkman and Mrs. O'Neill are working with the Lions Club to help facilitate that. We have a Spirit Week that's going to be starting in May. We also have a video that we will be creating. We anticipate doing Military Appreciation Month and writing postcards to our troops. We have food drives. We have the Memorial Parade, and we're also working to coordinate that our school is represented in the July 4th parade, and we're working with the Lions Club to facilitate that. So a lot of good activities are on the horizon for our students and really celebrating with our community. I also would like to thank Mr. Hanley and his team. We did have a presentation from a Holocaust survivor who came to all of our middle schools. If you did not have the opportunity, we were featured on News 12. Amazing opportunity for our students to hear from Mr. Newfield, who actually was a Holocaust survivor. He was only 3 years old. He's now 84. So for him to really speak to our students was very moving, and we can really kudos to Mr. Hanley to getting that set up in our middle schools. I also want to acknowledge all of our incredible staff over the last few weeks. I know we've been preparing for a lot of different events. I talked about the musical, but we also had some great events happening, whether it was vocal night, string night, jazz band night. Every night was something special for our community, and I know our music department is really top-notch. When we go to these performances, it's really incredible to see the talents. I also would like to thank the Board of Education. Tonight, the board did accept my notification of retirement from the Patchogue-Medford School District, effective June 30th, 2026. Did want to acknowledge to the community that I really have had an honor over the last 27 years serving this community. I've had so many incredible positions in the district. Ending my career as the interim superintendent has been an honor and a privilege. I also had the opportunity over the last 27 years to work alongside some incredible teachers, administrators, parents, and board trustees. One of the things I say, what my dad used to tell me, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And certainly, yes, it feels like work sometimes, but it has been incredible. And some of the bonds that I've formed over the last 27 years, I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. So I leave the district at the end of this school year with lots of friendships, lots of memories, and a deep appreciation for the work that really lies ahead for our students and the Patchogue-Medford community. So thank you, trustees, and thank you for accepting my retirement on tonight's consent agenda. That's all I have. I do not think the assistant, okay. Dr. Cohn.
Just want to make one comment based on Mrs. Kennedy's report. I've worked side by side with Mrs. Kennedy for the past 20 years, and I can wholeheartedly say there's nobody that works harder or cares more about Patchogue-Medford than you do, and it's been an honor and privilege to work side by side with you all of these years. Wishing you all the best, Lori.
Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to committee reports, with the first being buildings and operations. Trustee Krieger?
We met on March 3rd. I myself was not there due to personal illness, but we went over the bond updates, the athletic projects in the high school, the theatrical programs in the secondary schools, and the HVAC projects at Bay, Eagle, and South Ocean, and everything is going along smoothly, some ahead of schedule. And contrary to Facebook posts, our field will be usable for the spring season, and we will be putting temporary bleachers in so that we can use the field, and we will be complete and done by graduation. The Bay Elementary Capital Project update, you can see that on our website in the capital projects little banner on the website. The board has approved a new design that can be seen on the website, and that was due to the asbestos removal and abatement that we encountered. So we cut down the classrooms from 8 to 4 classrooms, but we put in shared space, and we made the most of the space, and we are connecting the building and still having an enclosed courtyard. So we spoke to the community at length. We've questioned things at length. Can we go up? Can we go down? What do we do? What happens if we hit more asbestos? And this is a solid plan moving forward for that building, which is much overdue. And then finally was the finalization of the interfund transfer projects and capital reserve project considerations, which Frank is going to be going over in his budget presentation in a little bit. And the next meeting is 5 p.m. Tuesday, 4/14 at the district office conference room.
Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to finance. Trustee Caban?
There was no March meeting, so our next meeting, it will be a joint meeting with the Legislative Committee this Wednesday, April 1st at 4:30 here at Saxton.
Thank you. Moving on to district-wide technology.
We have not had a meeting since our last board meeting.
Okay. Moving on to extracurricular.
Next technology meeting would be sometime in the beginning of May. Thank you.
You got it. Okay, moving on to extracurricular. Me, you, me, of me. Oh. Can you put that slide up, please? Thank you. I didn't know if it was up yet. Wasn't sure. So at our meeting, we did discuss our mascot So we do have two logos, as you can see. So we have two to present to the board tonight. We have the one with the buffalo on the top and the one with the buffalo on the side. We could use both. We could use one. We know that sometimes some people might use different ones, so we didn't know if both options and what the board wanted to decide or pick or do both.
I just want to add that the bottom one was first shown to the committee, really just the bottom one, and then a little later on, the top one came. So the committee did recommend the bottom one, but what we kind of came up with is that for different types of clothing, different, like one or the other might look better, you know, either vertical or horizontal on either a t-shirt or a hat. So the recommendation, or some of us were kind of thinking, if you guys are okay with both, then we could, you know, different sports teams or music or clubs could choose which one they want to use. You mean from the top and the bottom? The bottom one looks more, yeah,
Yes.
like a movie. It would be the same. The
Correct.
color would be the same.
Yes, we have 5 students on our committee. So they were very vocal about what it looked like and going back and forth, and yeah.
You're okay with that.
Thank you. Also, at our meetings, we also talked about making a fight song and a chant song. So they're looking in a fight song. You know how like most of the schools have like a fight song or chant, like a pop rally song that you play during the games. I know that some students in our music department are coming up with something like that to kind of write it themselves. And then the pep band was a great idea, so they're looking at maybe to bring the pep band into the sports programs somehow, so they're looking into that. And then they broke into groups, and then we're going to break into groups again next week, or next
And
meeting,
we're
which is,
continuing to talk about arts.
oh,
Go ahead.
the next thing was an art showcase. So we're looking at where they can have an art, students can show off their art, and they're looking at different places that they can hold the art showcase. They want to look into making it more like a market kind of vendor fair kind of thing for them. Next, we're moving into instructional and student support program.
Okay. We had our last meeting on March 26th. We continued our discussion on the development of a new elementary report card, or primary school report card. What we did during this session is we examined the results of a survey regarding the development of a new report card and what that looked like. We came to, as we were looking at the numbers, we found that there was inconsistencies with how many assessments were given and weights. So what it really led into was another discussion on the necessity for a framework for a new grading policy for elementary schools. And what does that look like? How are we going to group the grades? Is it going to be different? We want to do standards-based, so all these discussions kind of followed. Also, just the logistics of it. Is our current system going to be available to do it? We saw that there was issues with our e-school report cards, with developing standards-based report cards. So just a discussion we're going to follow up with our next meeting, which is, you know that one yet? I'm good with dates. But
April 23rd.
April 23rd. Thank you so much. That's all I got.
Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to legislation.
We met on March 10th. That's loud. We debriefed a little bit on the Longwood legislative breakfast that happened this winter, and congratulated Devani. He did a really, really good question. He represented the district really, really well. We talked about some of the priorities that were shared at the breakfast and feedback from our legislators. We talked about project labor agreements. We have some questions that we're going to try to get some more information about from Mr. Frank over there on our joint meeting on Wednesday. There's more legislative actions that are needed regarding electric bikes and scooters for enhanced safety and individuals in the community. Regarding the charter school resolution, we're still working on that. We got it right here. We're going to talk about that a little bit today, but I'll talk about that later. There's consensus that the Board of Regents should be the sole authority responsible for the decisions, and that this resolution to have community members that are affected by the charter schools be the people to vote on whether the charter school could go forward or not. This is vape shops. Legislative breakfast, Senator Dean Murray indicated that he was working on something related to the vape shops, specifically the one that located next to Medford Elementary. I'm looking forward to hearing from him about what that might be. It is a fact that vape shops, smoke shops, just regular we sell stuff shops, if they have their Department of Health will go in and check for things that are prohibited to be sold to minors or sold at all. If there is material that is behind, like in the back room, it is not considered available for sale. So if there is cannabis cartridges in a vape shop that they're not supposed to be selling cannabis in, but it's in the back room, the Department of Health can't ding them on having cannabis available because it's in the back room. It's not available for sale. So that's a thing that we've been pushing a little bit about. Can we get that looked at and maybe changed to support the Department of Health so that they have some kind of leverage on that. Over 100 members of our teachers union, the PMCT members, attended a fixed tier 6 rally in Albany. Councilman Neil Foley announced that the town board, we submitted a letter in support of this, has submitted a TAP application to hopefully get some sidewalks, crosswalks, bicycle striping, and traffic signals along Buffalo Avenue. This is very welcome. Generation Citizen class at the high school and our committee have been advocating for this for a very long time. We discussed the need for additional sidewalks and snow removal. Just generally, this was a rough winter for kids in roads. And our next meeting is on the 1st. It's a joint meeting with the Finance Committee. And that will be here at 4:30.
Thank you. That's a good segue into our charter school resolution discussion.
Which I think I would like to table because, we have this resolution, the charter school language resolution, whereases and therefores, and I thought we were going to have it written in official language to adopt.
Well, yeah, so I think what we did was we sent that, like the letter suggested that we put our lawyers put their eyes on it, and they did, and they changed it quite a bit.
They did.
So I don't know if we could look at it again and maybe, Mr. Toolin, is there a deadline for that letter to have to be in by? Okay. Okay. So we're okay if we waited a couple of weeks to clean it up. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. So I guess the conversation I would have here very quickly is, do we want to have this resolution that charter schools divert public funds from budgets of school districts, and that ultimately advocating for legislation requiring that charter applications be approved by local voters of impacted communities prior to submission of the relevant state chartering entity, and either additionally to this action or a separate action, that we are advocating that that the regents be the only authority approving charter schools. Because currently it is the regents and it is SUNY, and SUNY's very liberal with the approvals, and regents not so much.
Does NISBA have, didn't we talk about this with the NISBA? Do they not have a resolution about charter schools? I thought like we came across it this time, but maybe it's not as specific.
It's not very
But
specific.
did we pass something? I thought we did.
Well, what that would have been was asking, was acknowledging that NISBA would advocate for that. We can stand as a district and say, we really feel very strongly that this should be a thing.
Okay, so then are we doing this as a district, or because I think the letter that we got back was saying that we're calling upon NISBA to advocate for it. So are
Right.
we asking NISBA?
Very specifically asking NISBA to do that, and I think it can't hurt
Okay.
to also send it to the legislators and to our regents, and just send it everywhere that people need to have any kind of authority over who's making this. Is that okay? Okay, thank you.
The next is the library. I don't know if any trustees want to bring that up, or Laura, you just want that concern. Good, just think about it.
There's just been a lot of conversation. A lot of parents, have concerns about, I think maybe just not a full, clear picture of what library is going to look like for students in that K to 12 range. And so one of my questions was, I know that we're adding PE, another section of PE, but I also know that our students in grades 3 to 5 already get PE 3 times a week and still have library. So could we maybe just get some clarification? I think parents need to hear what that's going to look like for their kids, just to clear up any potential misunderstanding, to make sure that our kids in K to 2 are still having access to library and what that will look like for them.
Okay, so part of that visual, we outlined what a potential schedule would look like for K to 2. So it's important to note that while we do have physical education mandates for elementary and that we're trying to become more in compliant with that, we are starting to add, for next school year, second grade will have physical education 3 times a week, which leaves the only grade to not have 3 times a week, third grade. With that said, grades K, 1, and 2 will have a rotation of library, so they will physically meet with a library media specialist once every other week. This will be district-wide. All 7 buildings will follow the same suit. That does not mean that on the weeks that they're not meeting with the library media specialist, that the teachers will still have the availability and the ability to go to the library, or they can invite in. We have 3 instructional tech teachers that work in the district to support our library media specialists. So the teachers will have the option to either meet with this tech specialist in the library, invite the tech specialist into the classroom, but there's some flexibility on the weeks that the teachers are not, or the classes are not meeting with the library media specialist. They have the ability to either visit the library with their classes, bring them in, check out books, whatever it might be, and or work with this our instructional tech specialists as well. So we are not diminishing the availability to the library. We're just on a rotation of the library media specialist, but the library, and this will be a conversation that I have with the elementary principals as well, to make sure that the elementary teachers are still bringing their students to the library on the weeks that they're not meeting with the library media specialists.
So a question that I have, because I know this came up a lot this year, for a lot of our kids that were going every other week, we would be off on a Monday, and then that would be their week. So when we're planning, is there a way to make sure that classes that go, let's say Monday is a big day that we're out, maybe that's a class that goes every week to library, because I think that was where this really started. We had some kids in kindergarten that were going 6 weeks without ever having an opportunity to go. So is that something that we can be
Absolutely.
intentional about?
Yes, we had a lot of Mondays off this school year, which
Right.
was not our usual. But yes, in conversations with the elementary principals, we will make sure that those who have the weekly availability with the library media specialists are the ones that might happen to be on a Monday. If those are, now that the calendar is posted, we do know when our holidays will be. So I will work more closely with the elementary school principals this year to ensure consistency, ensure the teachers are still bringing the students to the library and or working with the instructional tech, and also being mindful of the holidays on the calendar.
Okay. Thank you.
I just would like to expand. So in essence, really, we actually added a special. So every other week, the kids are actually gaining one extra special than they actually had this year. So it's important to note that. Regarding your question regarding 4th and 5th grade, that's a contractual obligation that's actually in our teachers' contract, that 4th and 5th grade teachers get an extra prep each week. So that's not something that could be changed. So that is in our contract. It's been like that for many years. So 4th and 5th grade looks different than all the other grades based on our teachers' contract. So that is why our 4th and 5th graders, it is set because that's a contractual obligation. Any other questions regarding library? All great questions. Hopefully we answered some of, concerns that you've heard out in the community.
Next, we'll move on to public comment. So, Mr. Leva, can you just read the guidelines?
If you'd like to make a comment to the Board of Education, please direct all comments to the board president. Come up to the podium, please state your name and your address, and you'll have 3 minutes. We'll be warned at 30 seconds remaining. Anybody like to make a comment?
Good evening, Pam Peterson. I just wanted to piggyback on a couple of things with the extracurricular, the pep band was something that we discussed, and I don't know if I mentioned.
Hello.
And I don't know if I mentioned this at the last meeting, but the pep band was phenomenal at our basketball games, and we were discussing possibly having it at our spring sports outside too. It really did bring pep to the games, but it did bring up morale, and as far as them even creating their own spirit songs, they were really good. This is what they do, and they were impromptu with everything they did. It was phenomenal. So I definitely would hope that we can continue that. And I wanted to also talk about the field. So I just came off the field. The bleachers are there. The fields are in use. The scoreboards are working beautifully. And Huntington came and we were speaking to a few parents, and they were just saying how beautiful our area is and how they can see it. Nobody felt inconvenienced that, we had to walk around a site. They were able to see what it was going to look like. So it was nice to hear that, because, they were kidding. It was a long drive and now a long walk. But either way, they were very impressed with the field use, and it is being used. So it's very nice. And the last thing I wanted to say was, Lori, I'm going to really miss you, and you did a phenomenal job this year. And I just wish you the best.
Just state your name and your address.
Hello, good evening. My name's Amanda Serber Gonzalez, 8 Dogwood Lane, East Patchogue. I'm a 5th grade dual language teacher, as some of you may know. I'm also a mother of 2 bilingual children in our district. I'm here because I love dual language. I love what dual language gives to our students and families. I love what those students and families put into this program and give back in return. My years of studying multilingualism and language acquisition have only bolstered my support and belief in this program. Dual language is special because it serves English language learners, native English speakers, and a third, often overlooked group into which my own children fall, heritage speakers, who are both English proficient and culturally tied to Spanish. I'm concerned that by removing the program from Bay, students from each of these groups will be directly affected, leaving insufficient spots for our English side and Spanish side students. When asbestos was found at Bay, where my daughter attends, our district was presented with the problem. Its solution is to make room at Bay by closing the dual language program there. That is 25% of our dual language program gone over the next 6 years. The Bay construction problem has quickly become a linguistic and cultural responsiveness problem, which deserves adequate evaluation, analysis, and further discussion. In response to the asbestos, the district rightfully assembled a team of experts, including engineers, architects, district leadership. Mr. Mazzi, you've done a fabulous job explaining where we are with all this process. And even the DEC was consulted to find an answer. Please, before collapsing 1/4 of our dual language program, I implore you to call for a moratorium and include your bilingual education experts of directors, teachers, and families by creating a committee that will explore an alternative, culturally responsive, and effective solution that will support our program. Dual language and transitional bilingual programs do not have the same goals or outcomes. Dual language is considered an additive program, which values the development, bilingualism, biliteracy in 2 languages, where transitional bilingual is considered a compensatory or a subtractive program that oftentimes leads to language loss in that second minority language, in this case would be Spanish. I just want to end with a quote that learning another language is not only learning different words for the same things, but learning another way to think about things. That was spoken by Flora Lewis. Just please consider, I understand this is a complex issue. I do. I love this program. I love working for this district. But I beseech you to consider a moratorium, assemble a bilingual education committee. We have plenty of experts and wonderful people who know a lot about this. And please give this program and its families the time and consideration it deserves. I thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to make a comment?
My name is Casey Stewart. I'm at 216 West Avenue, and I'm here just a mom concerned about the elimination of the dual language at Bay Avenue. I currently have one daughter already in the program, and she is thriving. We don't speak Spanish at home, but she is having such a great school year. The principal, the teachers, the PTA, we are absolutely loving, loving, loving Bay. I'm an alum, go 04. And one of the reasons why we wanted to come back and settle in Pat Med was for the dual language program, which we didn't have available when I was going through. And just to see her flourish is amazing. Where my concern is that I have a younger child that we held back this year, who would have been in kindergarten and been in school with his older sister. But we held back because he just wasn't quite ready, and we wanted to put him in the dual language program. So we felt like he needed that extra year to really flourish and develop his skills. And we've been practicing. Are you excited to go on the bus with Gemma? Yes, I can't wait. We go to school things, he tags along as the sideline sibling, and he's met all the teachers, and everybody's so excited to, when are we gonna have JJ as well, And my question is to you is, have you ever attended a parent gathering at the school where they invite you to come in. Has anybody ever gone to one of those, like Mother Time Tea or Dads and Donuts or holiday things? Okay. Have you ever been there and a parent not be there and seen the social emotional impact on that child? Oh my gosh, breaks my heart, breaks my heart. And my concern for being a parent with two kids with potentially in two different two different schools is that how am I going to be in two places at one time during those special moments at school that we want to be there for? So I'm asking, when you're setting up committees or thinking about ending the dual language program, to consider those younger siblings and how it's going to affect the whole family of the well-being and the social emotional impact of those children. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Next one. Oh.
Can we just clarify for the public what's going on with dual language and that it's not just an asbestos situation?
Yeah, so I certainly can respond to that, and Ms. Marone, jump in if you have anything to add. So I had the opportunity to actually meet with our teachers that are here today, so thank you for joining us. So one of the things for the community to understand is the dual language program, we're shifting it to Medford for multiple purposes. One of the concerns at Bay is we have 3 sections at a grade level. And one of the things we have spoken about was the fact that the one side that's not dual language, they stay with each other for 6 years. There's no flexibility, and the kids are actually almost in a quasi-self-contained program for the 6 years. By moving the program to Medford, we offer 4 sections at a grade level, and it does give more flexibility at Bay for the general education students that they can really mix up between multiple classes over the 6 years at a building. So that was one of the reasons that we looked, because some of the concerns we also received from the community is that they didn't like the fact that that one class stayed together for 6 years. So we've also heard that from the community, that sometimes there's just not, there may be some conflicts and personalities with the students, and there's nowhere else to place the students if we only have one section. Additionally, this year I shared with our staff that we had 27 families on the English side that requested to be in dual language. And it is important to understand for the community, our dual language program is not a guarantee. It is a lottery. So just because one student received it one year does not necessarily mean that your other child could get into the program, because it really is based on a lottery. So that's one thing that sometimes parents do not understand, that yes, one student can get in, but 2 years later, depending on how many people look to get into the dual language program, another child may not get in, because the seats have to be given to our E&L students first. That's the law, and that's the Part 154 regulations require that. So I do understand that parents do love the program at Bay, and I appreciate that. I think one of the things for us is when you have 27 students and they're split between 2 dual language, you do not have the number of English proficient students in either program. And that also is not great for the program, because the other thing we spoke about is that throughout the years we do lose some students to the dual language program. So the numbers we see historically, some students choose or select to remove themselves from the program for various reasons. So with 27 English proficient students this year in our kindergarten cohort, that's really one section of dual language that would support all of our English proficient families. There is no need for 2 programs. And as I said, that's the trend that we've had. So when you go to dual language down south, our river community, sometimes they do have children in both schools because they may select to go into the dual language one year and their child goes to dual language, and then maybe the next year their child doesn't get in. So it's not unusual in our community that you may potentially have children in two different schools because we are unable to run a program in every school. We have 7 schools. That's how we run dual language. Our Tremont families experience that because not all of their students may get into dual language, and you may have one child that goes to Tremont, one child that goes to Eagle. And that is also the way we structure our special education department. We do not offer the continuum of services in every one of our 7 schools, and sometimes parents will have split students. If one child needs inclusion and another child does not, sometimes elementary schools split. Is it the best? No, but with 7 buildings, it's impossible for us to offer every program in every building, and sometimes parents do have to make those choices. So with that being said, we are scheduled to have 4 sections of kindergarten at Medford next year, 2 of which will be dual language, 2 of which will be general education, and we're also creating a transitional bilingual program because right now, based on our enrollment and in speaking to our director, Francis Cardenas, and Ms. Marone, there is a need for a transitional bilingual program for our K-1 students, and that will give us the opportunity to also create that program as well. So that's a quick summary. I'm also scheduled to meet with the Bay community on Wednesday to continue this conversation, so they will also have the opportunity to ask some questions there as well. And again, I want to echo, as I said, dual language is an amazing program. It is something that we take great pride in. It's something that many districts come to see our programs. So we are not dismantling the program, so I hate to hear that out in the community. We're shifting it, and we're making some changes to the program to offer both a dual language and a transitional bilingual program to meet the needs of an ever-changing student, demographic and our population and the needs of the students that are entering our buildings.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to board comments. Trustee Caban.
Okay. I just want to, start by saying I hope everyone has a wonderful spring break. Hopefully it warms up. And I just wanted to take a moment to say, Mrs. Canetti, it really has been, my first year on the school board. It has been such a pleasure working with you. I know that you haven't said this, but I know as a parent, you probably saw my name come across your desk several times and, dreaded picking up the phone because, like most parents, what got me here is I want to be an advocate for my kids and all of our kids. So, but it's been such a pleasure getting to work with you. I think you've done an incredible job this year, and I really wish you the very best in everything that you have, coming to you in the future. Thank you.
Okay. First off, I'd like to congratulate our athletes on their great season and what they've done so far this year. Thank you to the teachers who we honor tonight. Ms. Canetti. Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to say and to do and to celebrate, but I do want to say thank you for all that you do and all that you have done, and you will be missed. And we'll get back to that later. I also want to thank everybody who came out tonight to advocate for their children and the programs that they thought were important. It's very important to come out here and tell us. We need to hear your voices. So thank you very much, and I do appreciate it. It takes a lot to come up here and say stuff like that, so thank you. And I hope everybody has a wonderful spring break, and that's it for me.
I'm kind of unprepared tonight, but it is great to see more people and more faces here in person and not behind a computer anonymously. It's great. So I appreciate that. Ditto to everything that Trustee Kuban and Salazar said. I do want to also just echo what Ms. Kennedy said. I feel like I haven't been home in a month because we've had so many meetings and so many plays and so many concerts, but they were all equally fantastic. Ms. Kennedy and I were ranking the middle schools, and we're at a three-way tie this year for our middle school. Yeah, we're definitely at a three-way. There was none that shined. They were so different. They were all equally awesome. I also want to self-promote plug here. The kids went over to Five Towns. The art students went over to Five Towns again this year, and a child who happens to be mine won Best in Show Animation for the third year in a row, and it's just such a fantastic day for all of our kids, the photography kids, the media kids, to have their work up there. And I just want to thank the art and music department for that, and then the athletes and everything everybody else said. And yeah, we could really use spring break right about now. So have a good one.
Thank you, Lori, for your decades of service.
Oh, I'm not saying goodbye.
Oh, not
We
yet.
still have a long time.
There's still a year. There's still like a lot of time, but congratulations on your retirement and thank you. Thank you all, the Bay parents, for coming. I'm the parent of a dual kid a very long time ago. And yeah, his teacher's nodding. I understand the passion that you feel about this program, and we're the board and everybody feels equally as passionate about the program. It needs to stay. It needs to be fixed. We need to accommodate as best we can, wherever we can. And there are imperfect solutions. But keep talking, and we're all going to keep working on fixing this. Thank you very much for your words, for your time, and for your advocacy. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Congratulations to the athletes, and congratulations to our employees of the month. We got some great people. I went to a fundraiser this weekend. I won't get into very much about it, but watching what our community did, amazing. Thank you.
Okay, so I ditto what everyone said. Congratulations to everyone that was recognized tonight. Congratulations on your retirement. I'm not going to say goodbye right now either. And thank you for everyone who came out and came up to the podium and let us know what you're thinking and your thoughts and all the things. So thanks, everyone. Have a great spring break.
Yes, congratulations to Lori. We'll have our final say on the last board meeting, June 30th. Also, on April 20th, at the next board meeting, we will announce the new superintendent, and the community will have a chance to meet them and to do a little meet and greet. So I'll pause the meeting so that you can get to know the new superintendent. I just wish, thank you for everyone for coming out and voicing your concerns. We have heard you, we have listened. Congratulations to the athletes and to the employees. I will say, based on the music, I didn't get to see the musicals due to other events, but I will say the Pops concert was amazing, and the talent and the level that we have of our students that really played out was awesome. And I just want to say, wish everyone happy Passover and a happy Easter. So we are going to adjourn this meeting and then go into the budget meeting. We could take a 2-minute break, but I can adjourn this meeting first. So can I have a motion to adjourn this board meeting?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor? Okay. So the meeting was adjourned at 8:23, and then we'll give about 5 minutes before you start, Frank.